White lines up as the single setback. Couch pumping, looks backside underneath. It's caught. Morgan with the catch at the 10. And he did a tremendous job to hang on to the football. Gets the first down, clock still running.
Now just spike the ball. Don't even waste the play. Or maybe they're even calling a play.
And he spikes it. And the clock stops with 48 seconds remaining.
I'm just wondering if that was going to be one of those fake spike
I
deals.
thought he was going to do that.
It looked like
a
it.
la Peyton Manning earlier this year against New Orleans.
And you know what? What the Jags are saying, when his arm came forward, you actually have one chance to spike it. They're saying that that's a fumble. Or because you're not outside the pocket. Look at it. See the fake right there? He did it the second time. So he wasn't throwing it to anybody. So what they're discussing is, should that be intentional grounding?
Should it?
Yes. I believe the way the rule is written, that's exactly what it is.
So this is what we've been told. That the replay officials on the previous play, the fourth down play, they tried to buzz the referees on the field, and they wanted the ref to take a look at where the ball was on the Quincy Morgan reception to review it.
Replay buzzed prior to the snap. We'll be looking to see if the last pass was incomplete or complete.
Actually overruled that last play, and they're trying to see if this is a catch or not. And you see it sliding out from Quincy Morgan, and boy, that ball didn't necessarily stay in the grasp of Quincy Morgan. It looked like he was trying to pull it up. And so forget the potential grounding call, which I thought the Jags were going after originally. They were saying Quincy Morgan was juggling that ball. And I actually think he was. You have to have, Gus, you have to have possession and 2 feet down. And if that ball's gonna hit the ground, you're gonna have to maintain possession. That ball can't be sliding around. I want to go back and see if Quincy Morgan had that ball and had 2 feet down. It was very close, because the 2 feet only count once you have possession. And you can see the ball sliding down his leg right there. Now he got 2 feet down, but did he have possession of the ball when he got the 2 feet down? Is that, see, you can, there's holding onto his leg, and it looked like he still had it there, and then it was coming out. Wow. And so
this is a mess.
I think the way that the rule states is that it goes back to what was called on the field. They called it a completion. So it's got to be irrefutable evidence to overturn it. And they ran another play, which I've never seen happen in this.
After review, the pass is incomplete. First down, Jacksonville.
So they say he was juggling the ball. And what Butch Davis is saying right now is we ran another play. And like I said, in the history of replay, Gus, once another play has been run, I have never seen them go back and say we're replaying another play. And I mean, this is serious stuff here in Cleveland. This is a playoff spot potentially on the line.
And it's getting ugly here in Cleveland.
And it's getting ugly here fast.
And here was the play. They snapped it before the referees or the officials were able to stop the game.
And we were talking about the potential grounding call, but the Jags were talking about the play prior.
And the rules are pretty specific. Once another play is run, it can't be reviewed.
And so they were talking about the malfunction in the system. That's what the replay booth has called and told us. But we don't make the rules.
And bottles have been thrown on the field.
And that's one thing that we haven't had since replay has come back, We haven't had that situation, Gus, where another play has been run and we've gone back.
Fortunately, those bottles are plastic. But these Cleveland fans are irate. And they're trying to clear the end zone.
Yeah, well, the Cleveland fans aren't helping any right now by throwing stuff on the field. They got to know better than that. And it's frustrating. The players are frustrating as well. And the players are sitting on the sideline looking around dazed, trying to figure out how this happened. And we've just
Butch Davis still arguing his case.
And we've just never seen that.
So,
well, what the officials need to do is they need to get on the PA and get control of this game and get control of the fans. They're letting it get out of control because they're not communicating what's going on. Take some control down there and get this situation going. Let us know why and what happened. Talk about the other play being run off, because that is an unusual situation. You've got to let everybody know why this is happening, because just like up here in the booth, nobody has any idea what's going on because they're not telling us. The one thing you got to do if you're the officials right now, if the ball is indeed Jacksonville, then just call the game and get these guys off the field. It's not worth somebody getting hurt. If the fans are going to throw crap on the field, take control and get the players off the field, because this is ridiculous. Just get rid of the...
So let's take a look back. Tim Couch. Here he is. Watch the referee in the left part of the frame. And that referee is not blowing anything dead until after the ball was spiked. And now they're going to call the game.
That is the end of the game.
Unbelievable. Now they call the game.
Well, that was
with
the right
48
call.
Seconds to go.
Yeah, you got to take the
I think this has been just a fiasco by the referees today.
Well, that was the right call. You got to end the game. If the fans are throwing crap on the field.
Especially when you consider how big of a game this was for the Cleveland Browns. This is ridiculous.
Well, I'll be anxious to hear the official explanation of the way that replay situation came down, because once another play is run, you can't go back.
And these officials really need to get off the field.
And you know what? The fans got to stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open. The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt. It's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourselves by throwing stuff on the field.
And the officials are pummeled as they head into the locker room. And Butch Davis is speechless. He doesn't know what to say or what to do.
You've got to communicate and let everybody know what's going on.
So the game stopped with 48 seconds left on a call that I'm sure will be talked about in Cleveland for probably the next 6 months. 15-10 the final score. And there's the scene.
And the fans are just littering the field. And a fella right in front of us, Gus, got hit in the head with looked like a radio and just split his head wide open, and he's down. And the fans have to be smarter than that.
In Jacksonville and Cleveland, there's a big story at the end of this game here. The fans there in Cleveland, very disturbing scene as the Jags win it today, even though they committed 3 turnovers and were sacked 8 times. This is Henry running it back 97 yards for a touchdown.
And you got to talk about Stacey Mack in this game for Jacksonville. He rushed for 115 yards. Here's the throw by Couch, and that's the play. Did he have possession? He did not have possession, but Cleveland came back and got a playoff before they reviewed it. And so the fans didn't like, he does not have possession. That ball is out.
Well, they got but they got right on the line of scrimmage and ran a spike play.
That's right.
And by rule, it says if you get a play off, then it's dead.
Look at this right here. I mean, beer bottles all over the field. And they called the game, you see right there, with 48 seconds to go. And this is just a disgraceful scene in Cleveland as the officials are showered with bottles. And now we're hearing an update here in Cleveland. Gus Johnson was calling the game, and I believe they may be bringing the teams back out. This is like last year's Miami at New England game. Let's go to Gus Johnson out there at Cleveland. Gus?
All right, Jim, a wild sequence of events have taken place. Both teams went into the locker room. The officials went into the locker room as well. And from what we understand, Commissioner Paul Tagliabue called the officials in the locker room and has said that this game must be completed with 48 seconds remaining. And the score 15-10. And right now we don't know who will have the football. With 48 seconds to go, the officials called the game because the fans had started to throw bottles and cans, and one gentleman sitting in front of us was hit in the head with a Walkman or a CD player. So it's an ugly scene here in Cleveland. So here in Cleveland, we still are up in the air. In the meantime, let's go to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, we've got it over at one point.
Well, they can't call it. They can't review a play that's already been a play run after.
All right, back at Cleveland Browns Stadium, 15-10 is the score, and both teams are back onto the field, or both one offense and one defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the football. The Cleveland defense back on, and this is what happened while you guys were away. Cleveland came back onto the field, stayed for about 10 minutes, then left, came back on, and then Jacksonville followed him up. And according to our reports, the game was officially called with 48 seconds remaining because of the fans throwing bottles and cans onto the field. However, when the officials got back in their locker room, according to our reports, Commissioner Paul Tagliabue called and said that the game had to be finished. So let's take a look at what happened. So one more play remaining. The Cleveland Browns, 6 wins on the season. This is their final home game of the year. Their last 3 games will be played on the road, and that should do it. Now both teams head into the locker room, and this one will officially be over. And the Cleveland Browns fall to 6 up and 7 down as Tom Coughlin and Butch Davis shake hands at the center of the field. So an ugly scene here in Cleveland. Wild sequence of events. The officials will be criticized and scrutinized the entire week.